What really happened to Jimin? Flush face. Right after finishing the massive tour in Japan, Jimin from BTS suddenly flew back to South Korea, and something about that moment immediately made fans around the world uneasy. ARMY noticed something small, something that lasted only a few seconds, but now the entire internet is talking about it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jikook Lover, Purple Heart. On this channel we always talk about the latest BTS news, hidden moments, and mysterious events that make the global fandom explode. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Jikook Lover, and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Because today's story is spreading across the entire fandom, and people everywhere are asking the same question. Why did Jimin suddenly return to Korea right after the Japan tour? What really happened behind the scenes? And why do so many fans feel like something about that last moment in Japan didn't feel normal? Let's talk about it, because this story is quickly becoming one of the most talked about moments among ARMY worldwide. Over the past few days, one name has once again dominated conversations across the global fandom. But this time, the attention didn't start because of a new song, a comeback announcement, or a surprise performance. Instead, the discussion began with something far more subtle, yet strangely mysterious. It all started right after the massive activities that had taken place in Japan involving the members of. For several days, cities across Japan had been overflowing with energy from fans who gathered to witness the unforgettable moments created by the group. Videos shared online showed streets filled with purple lights, BTS banners hanging across buildings, and thousands of fans holding light sticks that turned entire arenas into glowing oceans of color. Many people even said that the atmosphere in those cities felt completely different during those days. It wasn't just a concert. It felt like a global celebration. Fans traveled from different countries just to be there. Airports were crowded with excited ARMY members. Merchandise stores were packed, and social media feeds were overflowing with clips from the performances. For a brief moment, it felt like the entire world was watching the same event. But just when the excitement seemed to reach its peak, something unexpected happened. News suddenly began spreading that Jimin had already left Japan and was heading back to South Korea. At first, the information appeared quietly through fan accounts that monitor airport activity. A few photos surfaced online, followed by short video clips that showed Jimin walking through the airport surrounded by staff members. He was wearing casual clothes, a mask covering part of his face, and a hat pulled down slightly as he moved through the terminal. For most people, this kind of scene wouldn't seem unusual. K-pop idols travel frequently between countries, especially after completing major schedules overseas. But this time, fans immediately felt that something was different. Something about the moment felt unusual. Within minutes, comments started appearing under the videos. Does anyone else feel like Jimin looks different? That single observation quickly spread across social media. Fans began replaying the airport footage over and over, carefully studying every detail. The way he walked, the way he greeted fans, even the brief movements of his eyes. Everything became part of a growing discussion among ARMY members worldwide. Some fans believed the explanation was simple. Jimin might just be extremely tired after days of intense performances and travel. Touring schedules are exhausting, and it would be completely natural for anyone to look drained after such a demanding period. But others weren't convinced. Several fans pointed out that his overall aura seemed different. Not necessarily negative, but noticeably more quiet and reflective. The discussion intensified when another short clip began circulating online. In the video, Jimin briefly pauses before entering the restricted departure area at the airport. For just a moment, he turns toward the direction where fans were standing. The entire interaction lasts only a few seconds, but those few seconds quickly became one of the most talked about moments across the fandom. Many viewers felt that his expression looked emotional. Others said his gaze seemed thoughtful, almost as if he was reflecting on something important. Of course, none of this was confirmed. There was no official statement, no announcement, no explanation. Yet the absence of information only made the curiosity grow stronger. This is how the internet often works when it comes to global celebrities. A small moment captured on camera can quickly evolve into a massive online discussion. A single expression can lead thousands of people to create their own interpretations. And in Jimin's case, the reaction was immediate. Within hours, his name began trending across multiple countries. Fans from Korea, Japan, the United States, Europe, and many other regions joined the same conversation. Some tried to calm the situation by reminding others that there could be many simple reasons behind the sudden return to Korea. Perhaps Jimin had another schedule waiting, or maybe he simply needed rest after the intense tour activities. But others felt that the timing still seemed intriguing. Why did the departure happen so quickly after the Japan events ended? Why did that final moment at the airport feel so meaningful to so many fans? These questions started to spread everywhere. Speculation slowly began forming throughout the fandom. Some wondered if the sudden return might be connected to a future project that has not yet been announced. Others believed it could simply be a transition between schedules that the public hasn't been informed about yet. And of course, many fans were simply concerned in the most genuine way possible. They just wanted to know one thing. Is Jimin okay? That simple question alone shows how deep the connection between BTS and their fans truly is. For ARMY, every gesture from the members carries meaning. Every smile, every message, every short moment captured on camera. All of it becomes part of a larger story shared between artists and their audience. That is why Jimin's return to Korea after the Japan tour didn't feel like an ordinary travel update. For many fans, it felt like the beginning of something unknown. Maybe it's nothing more than the end of a busy schedule. Maybe it's simply the calm moment after an intense tour. As the hours passed, the discussion surrounding didn't slow down. In fact, it only grew stronger. Clips from the airport continued circulating across social media platforms, each one gaining thousands, sometimes millions, of views in a very short amount of time. Fans began zooming into screenshots, analyzing tiny details that most casual viewers would never notice. Some focused on Jimin's posture. Others examined the subtle way he acknowledged fans waiting from afar. A few even discussed the small pause he took before disappearing into the departure area. To an outsider, these moments might seem ordinary. After all, idols travel constantly. Airports have long been unofficial stages where fans catch glimpses of their favorite artists moving between schedules. But when it comes to BTS, ordinary moments rarely stay ordinary for long. The global influence has created a unique environment where even the smallest actions become meaningful to millions of people watching closely. And this particular moment felt different to many fans. One reason might be the emotional context surrounding the Japan events that had just concluded. The performances had been described by fans as unforgettable. The energy inside the venues, according to those who attended, was almost overwhelming. Videos posted by ARMY members showed entire arenas glowing purple as thousands of light sticks moved in perfect rhythm with the music. Fans sang every lyric together, creating an atmosphere that many described as magical. For those who were there in person, the experience felt historic. For those watching online, it felt just as powerful. So when the news suddenly spread that Jimin had already left Japan shortly after the events ended, many people were surprised. Some expected the members to stay longer, perhaps to rest, attend interviews, or spend a little more time in the country that had just hosted such an enormous celebration. Instead, the timeline seemed surprisingly quick. And that's when the questions started appearing. Was the departure always planned this way? Or did something change behind the scenes? No one outside the company truly knew the answer. Yet speculation naturally filled the silence. Some fans suggested that Jimin might have upcoming work waiting in South Korea. Others wondered whether preparations were underway for future BTS activities that have yet to be revealed. There were also discussions about how intense touring schedules can be. Performing in front of massive crowds night after night requires enormous physical and emotional energy. Artists often carry a huge responsibility during these events. They are not just performing songs. They are delivering experiences that fans will remember for the rest of their lives. And that kind of pressure can be exhausting. Perhaps Jimin simply needed to return home quickly to rest and recharge. That explanation made perfect sense to many fans. But even those who accepted that possibility still couldn't ignore the emotional tone that surrounded the airport footage. There was something about the way Jimin looked back toward the fans, waiting at a distance. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't exaggerated. It was subtle. Yet subtle moments can sometimes carry the strongest impact. In fandom culture, these tiny gestures often become symbolic. A brief glance, a small wave, or a quiet expression can leave a lasting impression on people who care deeply about the artist. And Jimin has always been known for communicating emotions through the smallest details. Throughout his career, he has built a reputation as one of the most expressive performers in the industry. On stage, he can shift from powerful intensity to delicate vulnerability within seconds. Offstage, fans often describe him as thoughtful and deeply connected to the people supporting him. Because of that reputation, ARMY members naturally pay close attention to his expressions. Even the slightest change can spark curiosity. As the online discussions continued, many fans began sharing their personal interpretations of the moment. Some believe the expression on Jimin's face reflected gratitude. After all, the Japan events had clearly been emotional for both the artists and the fans. Perhaps he was simply taking one last look at the people who had gathered to support him before heading home. Others believe the moment felt more reflective. Touring can be a whirlwind experience. Cities blur together, schedules move quickly, and artists rarely get time to process everything happening around them. Maybe that brief pause at the airport was a rare, quiet moment where Jimin allowed himself to reflect on everything that had just happened. Another possibility that fans discussed was the emotional connection between BTS and Japan. Over the years, the group has built a particularly strong relationship with Japanese fans. Their concerts in the country have consistently drawn massive audiences, and many iconic moments in BTS history have happened there. So leaving Japan after such powerful events might naturally create emotional feelings. When artists step off a stage after a massive concert, the sudden silence afterward can feel surreal. One moment there are tens of thousands of voices cheering. The next moment, everything becomes quiet again. That transition alone can create deep emotions. As these conversations unfolded online, it became clear that the story surrounding Jimin's return to Korea was no longer just about a travel update. It had evolved into something larger, a shared moment between millions of fans who were all trying to understand what they had seen. Some people even began comparing the situation to other memorable airport moments involving BTS in the past. There have been many occasions where seemingly small interactions later became meaningful memories for the fandom. In the world of global pop culture, the relationship between artists and fans often extends beyond music. It includes shared experiences, emotional connections, and moments that become part of the fandom's collective history. And right now, this airport scene was slowly becoming one of those moments. Meanwhile, mainstream media outlets also began noticing the online discussions. Articles appeared describing how Jimin's sudden return to Korea had sparked curiosity among fans worldwide. Even people who weren't deeply involved in the fandom started hearing about it. The story spread across different languages and platforms. Some reports focused on the excitement surrounding the Japan events. Others highlighted the intense dedication of BTS fans who analyze every moment involving the group. But nearly all of them acknowledged the same thing. Jimin continues to hold a unique influence over the global audience. It's a level of attention that very few artists experience. And perhaps that is why even a quiet airport moment can create such a powerful ripple effect across the internet. Yet despite all the theories, discussions, and viral clips, one fact remained unchanged. No official explanation had been given. The company had not released any statement about the timing of Jimin's return. Jimin himself had not addressed the situation publicly, and sometimes that silence can make a story feel even more mysterious. Fans continued refreshing their social media feeds, wondering if a message might appear at any moment. Perhaps a post, perhaps a photo, perhaps even a short update, letting everyone know that everything was normal. But until something like that happened, the speculation would likely continue. Because in the world of global fandoms, unanswered questions rarely disappear quickly. Instead, they grow. And as more people watch the videos, analyze the expressions, and share their own interpretations, the mystery surrounding that quiet moment in the airport continues to deepen. So now the question that fans everywhere keep asking remains the same. Was that brief pause simply the natural exhaustion of an artist finishing an incredible tour? Or was it a subtle hint that something important is about to unfold next in the story of Jimin and BTS?